What do I have to do to win back your love? If I had to do it all again, would I even be just one whit wiser? Oh, probably not. You have to live with what you've got. My hands are empty now, and I'm really not too sure just how we'll ever make amends. Is this the way our story ends? Lovers once, now barely friends. If you ask me why, I guess I'd have to try some awkward alibi you'd disabuse me of. What do I have to do to win back your love? To do it all again, would I even be just one whit wiser? Probably not. What do I have to do to win back your love? Why did I have to go and put myself above you, darling? What do I have to do to win back your love? Why did I have to go and put myself above you, darling? Oh. And that was Win Back Your Love, currently to be found at Bandcamp on my album, The Pop Cycle, one of the pop type songs that I've written. There'll be a lot of that style of song in this particular presentation this evening. It's the 13th of December, 2020, and I'm broadcasting from our house, the House of Love, in Brooklyn, Gravesend, Brooklyn, which is almost all the way to Coney Island. And welcome you to the show. Let me see if I have a... Alrighty, there you go. As you come in, if you're going to join us, welcome, make yourselves comfortable, bring some popcorn, invite a friend, say hello. If this is the first time you've come to hear one of my live streams, I hope you enjoy it, and please, if you take the moment to like and subscribe, it helps me in commercializing this endeavor. Of course, you're welcome to come and listen and not do that, and you're welcome to do whatever you want to, because it's a free world. Okay. This first tune, I'm going to warm up with a non-original song. This first tune is a tune by Harry Nilsson, from Harry Nilsson's first album. I've been doing that a lot recently, this particular song, because it's just a lot of fun, and it gets me all warmed up for what I'm doing. She sang hymns out of tune, carried a yellow balloon. She traded her love for a Spanish doubloon and spoke to the people who are. She lived in a sorcerer's room. She pounded the table and brandished her broom. She turned 10,000 when she touched the moon and sang to the people who are. I have a clock on my wall, keeps time, that isn't all. Tells me how long she's been gone, away to the people who are. I have a clock on my wall, keeps time, that isn't all. Tells me how long she's been gone, away to the people who are. Rain came, scattered away the old antique caretaker's children that day. Later that evening she passed away, away to the people who are. She sang hymns out of tune, she sang hymns out of tune, she sang hymns out of tune. Harry Nilsson's song for you there. This is an original song. This song, it kind of declares my purpose in life as a songwriter, which is to mix it all up. Well, I've just come down to tell you about some music that I've heard. It's the band that plays on weekends down at Eddie's Crossroads Bar. They live out behind the diner in a bus that's up on blocks. If they ever get it rolling, I believe that they'll go far. Oh, their leader's Alexander with his double-neck guitar, who comes from Spain by way of San Francisco. His girlfriend is Elena from the hills of Bogota. When he met her, she was dancing in a disco. And the name of the band is the Sad Spanish Man and the Beautiful Indian Girl. Their drummer is Matsui, he's a Japanese Hawaiian. He grew up playing country blues in Memphis, Tennessee. He drops his one right before the bar and then he kicks the 2 and 4. And sometimes you can find him with a banjo on his knee. And there's Jazzy Jan from Amsterdam, who fills in all the leads in the saxophone, sitar, and balalaika. And Brooklyn Bob's the sound man, he's the master of the mix. He could put a shine on 1956 Formica. Oh, these are the pieces that make up their sound and the people that make up their world. The name of the band is the Sad Spanish Man and the Beautiful Indian Girl. Well, now Eddie tries to manage them, but he doesn't have a clue about the market niche where he should try to sell them. When the business people ask him about the bag they occupy, he doesn't have a notion what to tell them. There's a taste of gypsy zydeco, a hint of western swing, some polka, blues, and psychedelic soul. Throw in some mariachi and a lick of folky funk, and your mama and your papa's rock and roll. It's a crazy quilt pattern, kaleidoscope rainbow design on the flag they unfurl. The name of the band is the Sad Spanish Man and the Beautiful Indian Girl. They've got lyrics like the Beatles, they've got lyrics like the Dead, they've got lyrics like the Kingsmen where you're not sure what they said. Oh, but when they start to harmonize, all the angels shut their mouth. Oh, it's all about the unity of North, East, West, and South. Now these are the pieces that make up their sound and the people that make up their world. The name of the band is the Sad Spanish Man and the Beautiful Indian Girl. It's a crazy quilt pattern, kaleidoscope rainbow design on the flag they unfurl. And the name of the band is the Sad Spanish Man and the Beautiful Indian Girl. Hello, gang. Nice to see you here. That song was originally recorded on an album called The Big Wide Album, and can also be found at Bandcamp on my collection called The Pop Cycle, and a very nice arrangement there on the Bandcamp one. Alrighty. This is a very recent song. Currently working on the arrangement of this with my buddy from Florida, Dan Simpson. If you were here and heard that first tune in the lineup here, the recorded tune I always put on as you're getting set and I'm getting set, that tune called To Win Back Your Love was engineered by my friend Dan Simpson, and Dan Simpson is working on engineering this particular song, which will be on Swimming in Falling Water. In this world of trouble, child, everyone has grown up wild, and sometimes I think there's nothing that can save us. We've turned our backs on one another, turned away from earth, our mother, and squandered all the riches that she gave us. In every town and village, deep into the night, oh, in their beds the restless sleepers turning. Down along the waterways and on the city walls, the nightmen work to keep the watchfires burning. Little darling, don't you have no fear, don't you worry now, 'cause I'll be here just as sure as the white dove that spreads her wings to rise to the light that the morning brings, and as sure as the changing of the moon, darling, soon. Soon your tears be over, darling, soon. Soon your tears be over, darling. In this world of hate and war, it's hard to know just who you are, or if there's something greater you belong to. Is there someone who will take your hand and try to help you understand, or only someone you can sing your broken song to? Sailors on the ocean, praying for the sight of land, they look out to find the lighthouse angels sweeping. Babies in the cradle on the wings of lullaby, sweet sister, hold her safely in your keeping. Little darling, don't you have no fear, don't you worry now, 'cause I'll be here, sure as the white dove that spreads her wings to rise to the light that the morning brings, as sure as the changing of the moon, darling, soon. Soon your tears be over, darling, soon. Soon your tears be over. Soon your tears be over, darling. Soon your tears be over, darling. Soon your tears be over. May it be so. May it be so. A lot of the tunes that I'm playing here are, as I say, from the pop side of my repertoire. I usually split my broadcasts doing one evening of folk and that kind of music, and throw in some swing tunes and jazz tunes there. And then I split the other evenings doing what I'm doing tonight. You get a little bit of everything still, and this next tune is a bossa nova that I wrote just not too long ago at all. past is lost, the future is never. Oh, but now is forever. And all of those golden moments that were your treasure have fallen away like dreams, now is forever. The wheels of days and years are constantly spinning. The ending was written before the very beginning. The past is lost, the future is never. Oh, but now is forever. The wheels of days and years are constantly spinning. Oh, the ending was written before the very beginning. The past is lost, the future is never. Oh, but now is forever. Sort of a bossa nova, I guess that's what that is. This next tune is political in its nature. If you're coming by, visiting me, please say howdy so I'll know you're there. I think at the moment I don't really have anyone except my wife and Harvey there, but maybe we'll pick up a little steam a little bit later. I enjoy doing this. I really do enjoy doing this. This keeps me focused and active and positive in my attitude. And I recommend whatever you do, find things like this to do. Even if it's just making blankets, baking baked goods. I have a friend who was a wonderful illusionist and magician who spent his entire life out socially doing 5 or 6 jobs a week, touring the country, touring the world. So when COVID came and he had to stay home all the time, it changed his life completely. He's now become a master baker. Peter Samuelson. I fear the coming of the frost. The mountains burn, the world is lost. I hear the drumming of the rain. The bloody corpse, the river stain. A beggar comes to haunt my door, and turned away he speaks of war with words that summon from the grave. The ghosts that I cannot save. Let every joy that's left be had, the drunken dance, the king is mad. Let every boy and girl be glad, the bells cry out. The king is mad. The king demands a grand parade, waving from his motorcade to those that come to cheer and bow. He'll save them, only he knows how. With his atomic attaché, with gilded hair and feet of clay, he speaks of wars of words and walls, and cuts a string of paper dolls. Let every song that's known be sung, and praise ring out on every tongue. Let every boy and girl be glad, the trumpet sound. The king is mad. Some say he came a gift from God, but others here might find it odd that any god on any whim would elevate the likes of him. For he is neither lord nor saint, and the gold upon his throne is paint, and in the end his lone reward is the mirror of his own regard. Let everything that's true be false, let cripples dance of broken walls, let every boy and girl be glad, the herald weeps, the king is mad. The sky is empty now of birds, the poets have run out of words, no longer bound by false accords. The soldiers fall upon their swords. His counselors have been dismissed, their names are stricken from the list. The king is left to rule alone, a jester on a wooden throne. Let every joy that's left be had, the drunken dance, the king is mad. Let every song that's known be sung, and praise ring out on every tongue. Let everything that's true be false, and cripples dance of broken walls. Let every boy and girl be glad, the bells cry out, the trumpets sound, the king is mad. There you go. A song based on Escurial by Michel de Gelderode, written in the, I think the 19th century. He was a French pre-existentialist playwright. Of course, there's other references in that song. You can sort that out. So, gang, if any of you want to, a particular song, I am so happy to provide that. And, all right, what's going on here? Once again, I don't know really who's here because my live chat thing keeps doing strangenesses. Participants, live chat, my live chat. If my live chat is working, somebody say something so that I know that's functioning. And this one goes out to Harvey. I know he likes this song. It's also a song about a king. By His Majesty's decree, the people are invited to a celebration on the palace lawn. If you come just after 3, the food and drink will be provided. If you don't go, you'll wish that you had gone. For the princess is engaged to a 6-day tandem racer, a faster man on wheels there's never been. And the wedding date is reckoned at July the 22nd. When he arrives, the celebration will begin. Well, the king was very glad that his daughter finally had a husband trapped to occupy her days. She rarely did a thing but to sit and weep and sing, to wander through the palace garden maze. And the tandem racer's name was Baron Basil Werner, possessor of a world-famed racing cup. Oh, he spins his silver pedals and he polishes his medals, and you couldn't count the brides that he stood up. On July the 21st, the royal wedding was rehearsed, and everyone, except the groom, was there. They tried hard not to worry, they were sure that he would hurry and arrive with lots of time to spare. But from Luxembourg the tandem racer sent a cablegram that he had raced against the clock and he had lost. And his wheels spin round and they make a whirring sound, and you couldn't count the countries that he crossed. Well, they held the wedding anyway, though it started in to rain, and the princess emptied water from her shoe. It rained all day and the baron never came, and the people all found better things to do. A sad and tragic tale. Okay, this is not an original song. Most of what you're hearing tonight are original songs. Many of them that I don't play very often, and I do hope you enjoy them. It's lovely to yeah. Well, I guess the chat is working. It's nice to know my audience there. Hello, 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 both to both of you. My faithful wife Josephine, so kind and patient with me. And so anyway, this is a song that I originally heard Richie Havens sing, and most people know his version of it. The song was actually written by Jerry Merrick. And there was a time in the West Village when I was first playing my music and sounding not vastly different than I sound now, just maybe a little more polished now than I was back then, and I know more songs. Everybody had to know how to sing this song. It was just one of those songs. You had to know how to sing this, and you had to know how to sing at least one Tom Gent song. And, if any of you have ever been in the West Village in the 60s and 70s, you know the truth of that. Richie Havens, one of the sweetest people in the world. Let the river rock you like a cradle. Climb up to the treetops, child, if you are able. Let your hands tie a knot across the table. Come and touch the things you cannot feel. And close your fingertips and fly where I can't hold you. Let the sun rain fall, let the dewy clouds enfold you. Maybe you can sing to me the words that I just told you. If all the things you feel ain't what they seem. And don't mind me, 'cause I ain't nothing but a dream. The mockingbird sings each different song. Each song has wings and won't stay long. To those who hear him think he's doing wrong, while the church bell tolls its one-note song. Hear the school bells tinkling to the throng. Come here where your ears cannot hear, and close your eyes, child, and listen while I tell you. Follow in the darkest night the sounds that might impel you, and the song that I am singing may disturb or serve to quell you. If all the things you hear ain't what they seem, then don't mind me, 'cause I ain't nothing but a dream. The rising smell of fresh-cut grass, smothered cities choke and yell in fuming gas. I hold some grapes up to the sun. Their flavor breaks upon my tongue. With eager tongues we taste our strife and fill our lungs with the seeds of life. There you go. Seems to be a great deal of buffering going on, and I hope you're getting a fairly steady signal where you are. And I'm having fun here. Okay, this particular tune, change the capo set situation here, goes back to my days in Central Park Sheiks. The Central Park Sheiks were the Eastern Kings of Western Swing, and from that you can assume that we did a great deal of what they call Western Swing. You might know it as cowboy jazz. You might not know that music entirely, because a lot of good music has disappeared into the fog of history. But the Sheiks were a band that did not want to be... I'm getting a warning that you're not getting enough video to maintain smooth streaming. I don't know what that's going to amount to, and I just have to move forward in what I'm doing here and hope that clears up. Anyway, the Sheiks also did some country-type music. I usually wrote those songs. This is one of those songs recently unearthed because I'd forgotten that I wrote it, which has happened to me a lot in recent years because I've written so many songs. Proud of it. Many albums worth. Blackbird sitting on a fence post, laughing like he knows some kind of joke. I fail to see what's so funny. My whole world just went up in smoke. Won't you let me in on the joke? Scarecrow dancing in a cornfield, dancing while the wind blows him around. Sometimes I feel like that scarecrow, watching over my dry patch of ground, while the wind just blows me around. There's a strange kind of music in the branches of the trees, like a song on a broken guitar. And those crows on a fence don't make any more sense than some crazy fools in a bar who sing a broke-down honky-tonk waltz. Blackbird flies over to the scarecrow. It doesn't scare him a bit. It just sits on his shoulder to mock him, and then laughs at his own senseless wit. That scarecrow doesn't scare him a bit. Blackbird, fly away from my shoulder. Blues, fly away from my heart. I've had your shadow upon me, darling, since we've been apart. Blues, fly away from my heart. There's a strange kind of music in the branches of the trees, like a song on a broken guitar. And those crows on a fence don't make any more sense than some crazy fools in a bar who sing a broke-down honky-tonk waltz. Yes, a broke-down honky-tonk waltz. There's a strange kind of music in the branches of the trees, like a song on a broken guitar. And those crows on a fence don't make any more sense than some crazy fools in a bar who sing a broke-down honky-tonk waltz. Just a broke-down honky-tonk waltz. A broke-down honky-tonk waltz. Broke down honky tonk. I'm going to take a moment here to do something. When you finger pick on the guitar, gotta maintain those fingers. It got me a little disturbance in the force down here, filing it away. Hope you enjoyed that song. That's from the countryside of my repertoire. I'll be doing a re-recording of that and several other tunes, hopefully, if my life allows, and I bet it does, sometime in the next year, featuring most of my country-style songs. This particular tune was released originally on an album called The Girl in the Golden Atom. And it was my attempt to kind of channel the Beatles. Now, I didn't try to sound like the Beatles, because for Christ's sake, I'm not that good, and I'll never sound like the Beatles. But I tried to make each song different than the song before it on the album, because that's what I always loved about the Beatles, is that jumping around and playing games with your head. This particular song, I believe, channels John Lennon. Monsters are all very scary. Monsters are easy to fake. When people are cruel to each other, it's really much harder to take. And the things we allow to control us should be subject to careful review. You've got monsters inside, monsters inside, monsters inside you. Children look up from the games you play to the life they want you to live. They'll never explain all the rules to you or how much they expect you to give. And the things you'll do just to get by may all come as a wonder to you. There's a stranger inside me and a stranger inside you. Don't be afraid, don't be surprised. See the stranger in your eyes. Don't be frightened if you should fall. It's only love, and love is all. How many times did you wake up just to find you were still in the dream? And the moments of light, the feelings of love flow by like a silvery stream. And the person you see in the mirror should be someone you're happy to be. There's angels inside you, angels inside of me. Don't be afraid, don't be surprised. See the angels in your eyes. Don't be frightened if you should fall. It's only love, and love is all. The song is called Monsters. Monsters. It's a love song. Morning comes to touch the sky and to wake the sleeping world, to hang the dew upon the blades of grass like strings of pearls. I rise up from my sleep to find you laying by my side, clinging to your last of dreams and breathing like the tide. I won't wake you, I'll just wait and hold you in my eyes, peaceful as a ship of clouds that sails the crystal skies. I'll go and put the kettle on to make our morning brew. If you were the first to rise, you know I know that's what you'd do. There's ever been a sweeter day, I swear I don't know when you came into my life, it's all been true again. All those years I spent alone, just watching time slip by, filling up with emptiness and taking love to be alive, filling pages up with words to make my broken song, never knowing you were somewhere waiting all along. Now there's never been a sweeter day, my lover and my friend, since you chose to take this road, it's all been true again. Morning comes to touch the sky and to wake the sleeping rose, throwing diamonds on the river so it flashes as it flows. This world is lovely, it can't be denied, you know that's true. Twice as lovely with two pairs of eyes to see it through. If there's ever been a sweeter day, I swear I don't know when. Since you came into my life, it's all been new again. And that's new again. I see my numbers indicate that my audience has not really grown too much here. I hope I have some latecomers. If you're playing a replay of this, thank you for coming and visiting. And I do this Saturdays at 4, Sundays at 7. I may vary that in the future just based on the kinds of activity I see going on these days. A lot of people are doing this, and if you have friends that are doing it, it's not vanity. They want to play music, and there's not many places to play music, and certainly not many places where we can make a penny doing it, because even before COVID, the club owners were ripping us all off, the record companies were ripping us all off. So our chance to do this kind of live streaming, you can hear us play, you can know how good we are and how nice our songs are, deserve the reward that you might give to my steady people that always donate. It's not directed at you. You're so generous, and I bless you for that. But if you're a newcomer to my live streams and you think I did pretty good here, you know, it doesn't take much. It all adds up, and it's a good thing for me. This is a kind of spooky tune that I wrote back in, I guess it was right around the year 2000. It was put on an album called The Big White Album. Little Finnegan. You're a bus driver bound from the lights of the city through the quiet of little towns lost in the night. Exits and off-ramps and neon-lit diners and the bright eyes of rabbits like stars on the roadside. And the radio reminds you of all that's behind you. Your poor eyes are dazzled by the oncoming lights. The white line goes through you. You don't know now, do you, why the good folks won't turn down their brights. Through the long night the dark traffic sighs. What color are the bus driver's eyes? Puzzles and riddles and cats that play fiddles, children that change in the rays of the moon. The little dog laughed just to see such a sight, and the dish ran away with the media tycoon. Are we almost there yet? And why is the rain wet? And who spilled the stars on the velvety deeps? Digressions and questions, and liars' confessions. Little Finnegan can't get to sleep. So many what-ifs and whys. What do you see when you shut down your eyes? There once was a maiden who escaped from her bower by cutting off all of her beautiful hair. and weaving a ladder, she climbed from the tower and ran off and left not a note on the chair. There was an old farmer who traded his best cow for a hand-scribbled map and an old rusty key. The little dog wept just to hear such a tale. The tears that he offered would fill up the sea. Through the long night the dark traffic rolls, and the night driver ferries our souls. Are we almost there yet? And why is the rain wet? Who spilled the stars on the velvety deeps? Look up out your window and watch the moon follow. Little Finnegan can't get to sleep. Now be a good fellow, go and waltz with the widow. Little Finnegan can't get to sleep. This is a fairly recent song. Something seems to be snagging my guitar in the back here. What could it be? It's another love song. It looks like I'm just down to just me and Josie. C'est la vie. A gust of wind has come to call, that turns a summer's day to fall, sends hats and papers tumbling down the lane. The pigeons that parade the square all leap as one into the air, taking shelter in the eaves against the rain. The songbirds quit their flight and hush their song, waiting for the rain, it won't be long, for reasons only feelings can explain. You can always tell when it's about to rain. The children have all run inside, the lovers in the park decide they won't be bothered by a drop or two. Slowly strolling, lost in love, they take no heed of clouds above. It's just a little rain, don't be blue. Just a little rain, you know it's true. Won't last forever, darling, don't be blue. For reasons only feelings can explain. You can always tell when it's about to rain, and I may not know all the reasons why, but I can always tell when you're about to cry. I see you at the window now, and I can feel you wonder how the wind has blown so many things away. And if it helps to ease the pain, we'll go out walking in the rain, remembering another sweeter day. When we were young and love was new, it's just a little rain, don't be blue. Blue is just a feeling, let it come and let it go. I know it hurts a little, darling, let it go. Why is just a question with no answer, maybe so. Don't let it bother, darling. I left my shoes shoes in Dublin. I borrowed a dead man's coat. I left the rest behind me and I stowed on to a boat. I left the rest behind me to be swallowed up by time. If they ever come and find me, may they pardon me my crime. They say I killed my father, but I only stole his name. He was murdered by a bottle, but I'll gladly share the blame. Murdered by a bottle, and maybe death has set him free. Oh, now if I could only lose this ghost that stowed away in me. His ghost is in my mirror. His ghost is in my mind. It's living underneath my skin and it won't be left behind. I tried my best to kill it, but the damn thing never dies. It stands so hard above me with whiskey in its eyes. Here is my confession, for whatever it is worth. I'm haunted by my father, just like every man on earth. Haunted by my father, like every ordinary Jake. He stands so hard above me, like a storm about to break. Sailing to America to find what might be found. Throw these memories overboard, and I pray that they stay drowned. I'll throw this baggage overboard to be swallowed by the sea. Now if I could only lose this ghost that's stowed away in me. I left my shoes in Dublin. I borrowed a dead man's coat. I left the rest behind me and I stowed on to a boat. I left it all behind me to be swallowed up by time. And if they ever come and find me, may they pardon me my crime. And on that note, I have time for two more songs. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one last song live and then put up my sponsorship screen. But I've got a really nice piece of music for you to listen to on the sponsorship screen, something that I have not presented formally at any time in many, many years. But it's part of the music that I made in 1990 called Living in the Stream. And it's a really pretty tune called The Journey Home. And I hope you stick around and listen to that. Beautifully produced by myself and engineer Dan Simpson. And but meanwhile, this song. The river slides down the mountainside, the ocean wide receives it. The tenderness of the sweet winds bless, the open heart believes it. The past is done, and we stand as one in this world the time is made. And the day may come when we rise as one, as our better angels pray. The sunlight pours into my eyes and yours as the colors dance in wonder. The rain has passed and we hear at last the fading drums of thunder. It's a brand new age, an unwritten page. It's a brand new age, an unwritten page. I've forgotten all the lyrics. I take that as a sign. When I forget the lyrics to a song, I move right along. I'm going to finish this show. I think what's happening is I've grown a little weary, and I appreciate the company that I got, and hopefully people that will come and visit this will never know that I did that, because I'll just edit it right out. And thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your support. And I do hope that you can help me gather more people into the fold here, because I know people would like my music. They just don't ever get to hear it. So what's coming next is just my sponsorship screen, which is being put up for the people that might prowl around in this file later on. There it is right there. And if you're curious, the music that I'm about to play is called Journey Home, and it's very nice, and I hope you like it. There's nothing you can buy, and there's nothing you can own, and all your prized possessions are just something you've been loaned. And the things you'd give the world to know are just the things you've always known. What you thought were precious gems were only ordinary stones. And if I could buy your freedom, friend, or if I could find my own, but the road goes on forever when you're on your journey home. Music in the silence, and the light that flows from stone, and the crust of bread to satisfy the hunger in your bones. And the rain will cool your fever when you wander on the sands, and Mother Night will rock you in the cradle of her hand. And if I could make your freedom, friend, or if I could find my own, the road goes on forever when you're on your journey home.